Do you ever miss the Hondas of old? Those affordable pocket rockets with SOHC, those high revving SOHC engines. But these days, Honda's more upscale, more sporty and safe. But ever wondered if Honda still has its old fun side? Well, we got it right here. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and we'll be proving that Honda hasn't forgotten its fun side with the Honda Brio RS. So in the exterior of the Honda Brio RS, first of all, I want to talk about the color. It comes in this Phoenix orange colorway that is reminiscent of the old passion orange in the Honda Civic SIR, which you can't get anymore in the current Honda Civic. First of all, the front end features this aggressive, nice and mean looking front end with this blacked out grille with honeycomb grille inserts as well. You've got this halogen headlamps and the halogen fog lamps as well, and the black theme carries over to the top. This is the black top version of the RS, which is an option for the RS variant, and it definitely shows right up in front. It's got a nice overall look right here. Even though you're buying a small car, it has big car aspirations because of this front end. Now, when talking about side profiles, especially for many hatchbacks in this segment, you usually don't have anything to talk about. But with Honda Brio RS, you've got this nice sweeping character lines that runs across from the front section all the way to the rear. Now, being an RS variant, you've got this nice side skirt in the side. Of course, you got that wraparound body kit. You also have 15-inch RS mags all around, or two-toned alloy wheels, which I kind of don't like, but because I really prefer those blacked out wheels, especially in sportier versions. Now, the RS variant also has LED lights on the turn signals, on the side mirrors right there. Overall, it's a great look that covers pretty much all the bases. The only thing that I don't like on the side right here is the weird rear overhang here. It kind of extends backward, but then sweeps down below, kind of in an egg-shaped pattern, but it's a nice look overall. So heading over to the rear of the Honda Brio RS, while the previous generation RS had this nice sculpted glass in the back, reminiscent of the CRX, this time it has a more traditional hatch. You can see that the rear windshield is actually kind of smaller, and that does affect the visibility while driving. We'll check that out later. I want to talk more about the additional kit the RS variant gets over the regular Brio. For example, you've got this nice chunky spoiler up top, you got this bumper below, especially this honeycomb inserts at the bottom as well. You don't have the exhaust pipe visible, which is kind of a bummer, but of course a lot of Honda tuners can of course change that. But overall, it completes the overall look of the Honda Brio RS, being that small, sporty hatchback. But enough of that, let's see about the inside of this car. So inside the Honda Brio RS, it's got your typical Honda ergonomics here. And although I decry the lack of a center armrest, it's definitely just fine as long as you keep your expectations straight that this is an entry-level hatchback. You got some nice orange inserts on the dashboard right here. That's available in all RS models. You get orange no matter what the color car you have. Of course, on your left here, you got your controls for your side mirrors. Only the driver's side is automatic for the driver's side windows, but the weird part is it's only automatic for down and not up, so that's kind of odd. Of course, your steering wheel is adjustable for just for rake, not for reach, but that's okay because if you need to achieve your optimal driving position, you got your manual adjusters for the seats right here. Heading over to the center stack, you've got a nice 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system without Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, which is kind of a bummer. It also does not have any physical volume knobs or tuning knobs, which is also a bummer right there. But you can at least control your volume right here on the steering wheel. It does have a nice feel to it and all. The AC cluster is also nice. It's digital. It's a manual operated AC unit. You also got this nice old school air recirculator inside with this notch right here instead of having to use a button. It's a nice look overall, especially with the dashboard right here. It's simple. It has a black face with white dials and an orange accent on the center binnacle here. It doesn't have any other displays except for that small old school LEDs one right here for your drive modes, for your fuel economy and all that. All right, so let's head on over to the rear section of the Honda Brio RS to see if I fit and if it's quite ergonomic enough for rear passengers. Now, all Honda Brio RS models actually has these funky seats with nice geometric patterns that kind of reminds you of Hondas of old, especially in the 90s. They're nice and comfy, they're well padded, they just lack a bit of support, especially in the back. Now, Honda's always been known to be ergonomic, be spacious, and the Brio RS is no exception. It's got a lot of space in the middle, especially for two people, just like this. So the big boys at Zigwheels actually fit the back. Just don't add one more guy here. Should be fine. The rear passengers don't get a lot of toys or at all at the rear except for this window opener. You got your cup holder, your map pockets. You don't even get a center armrest, so that's that. Let's head on over back to the driver's seat and see how this drives. All right, so we're behind the wheel of the Honda Brio RS. So what I want to know is if Honda hasn't forgotten about its pocket rocket fun roots, especially in the old Civics, old Cities in the 90s, early 2000s. If you remember the Honda Civic SIR, the whole orange theme, outside and inside, kind of pays homage to that particular kind of look. But what I want to know is, does it perform the way as it looks? Well, for starters, you've got a naturally aspirated 1.2 liter 4-cylinder engine that makes 90 horsepower and 110 Newton meters of torque. I actually feel that it's a class above the mini subcompact hatchback segment, because usually for the subcompact segment you've got 3-cylinder engines with them, and the balance and the vibrations definitely work differently. But with 4 cylinders, it's nicely balanced, well weighted. There's no vibrations at all, especially when accelerating, which is usually the case with 3-cylinder engines. And it has an SOHC engine, which, if you know Hondas, if you've been following Hondas for the past few decades or so, have been masters of SOHC. And it revs really fast. It likes going up the rev range right there. And it's really fun to drive. You can get a manual transmission for the Honda Brio and the lower variants, but for the RS, you only get a CVT. And it's fine, it's totally fine. A lot of people have been harping against CVTs, but I've always been a firm believer in new technology. And if you ask Honda, yeah, revving is still there. It likes to rev high, and acceleration is fine. It's just fine, especially for a CVT. You hear that? Engine noise comes inside the cabin. Of course, sound insulation can definitely use some work, but again, you have to take this with a little bit more perspective. It's a mini subcompact hatchback, so if you compare it to the likes of the other models out there, I'd say it's better than most, but don't expect European levels of quietness inside. You can hear the engine noise coming in, some of the noise from the outside, especially with these motorcycles coming in, but it's okay. It's fine for a subcompact hatchback. Now you got McPherson struts up front and a torsion rear suspension at the back. And even though that's not the most optimum that you can give a front-wheel drive engine, it's still nice because of the short wheelbase and the fun nature of the Honda Brio. Steering is nicely weighted. It's not as light as you might think it would be, especially for an electronic power steering setup. But Honda knows its fans. Honda knows people who drive Hondas, and they want their cars weighty, they want their cars sporty. So it's tuned more to be a little bit more responsive than what usual electronic power steerings can give you. Fuel economy is also a great feature of the Honda Brio RS. Now it's got a CVT, of course, that small engine up front. You get around 10 to 11 kilometers per liter in the city, and once you reach the highway, you get 16 kilometers per liter, which is quite nice, which is quite on par again with subcompact sedans. And if you're looking for a car with great fuel economy, especially with how these current fuel prices are these days, you might want to look into the Honda Brio RS. All right, safety features are standard. You get your dual front airbags, ABS with the electronic brake force distribution, and that's it. You don't get any 360-degree camera. You don't get blind spot monitoring or even Honda sensing, to say the least. But it's fine. Honda wants you to appreciate their product, their nice high revving product, without having to compromise on, the price. You still get the standard safety features anyway. So, we've lived without those features for the past, 100 years or so. And I'd say, as long as you keep your eye on the road, the Honda Brio RS will not fail you. So there you have it, folks. Hatchback, lightweight, SOHC engine, and then of course in a lightweight body equals fun on the road. Honda hasn't been this much fun since the 90s, and I think this is worth a second look. It's definitely on a class of its own. So if you're in the market for a mini hatchback, check out the Honda Brio RS. Now, if you love this video, leave us a like, and while you're at it, comment down below and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so that you're alerted whenever we upload a new video. Once again, Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time.